Now, let's talk about saving for one of the biggest and most important long-term goals, retirement. The official age of retirement in the US is 67 years old. I know that can seem like a very distant future, but trust me when I tell you, we will all be viejitos one day. Did you know that the average life expectancy in the US is about 76 years old? And that for women is over 80 years old? So imagine, you stop working at the standard retirement age of 67. How will you cover your expenses and live your best life for another 10, 20, or who knows, maybe even 30 more years? Mi abuelito lived to be 90 years old. Well, that's where retirement savings and investing comes in handy. So let me break it all down for you. As soon as you start working at a job, you will realize that you don't get to keep all the money you make. That's because we pay income taxes. Everyone in the US has to pay federal taxes, and depending where you live, you probably also have to pay state taxes. And just so you know, here's a list of all the states that don't charge state income tax. We also pay Social Security and Medicare taxes. Those particular taxes fund social programs for the elderly, which in the future we will have access to. I'll explain a little bit more about Social Security in a second, but first I want to share the multiple ways that we can financially prepare for retirement. Social Security benefits, pension plans, other company-sponsored benefit plans, individual retirement plans for the self-employed. Now let's dig in a bit into what Social Security is. Every time we earn money, we're required to pay Social Security tax. Those taxes that we pay go into a trust. You can think of it as a pool. The money in that pool is used to give retired elderly people some money every month to help them cover their expenses like rent and food. Although Social Security is a good benefit that we receive by using this collective pool, it is not something we should solely rely on for retirement. In 2021, the average Social Security check is about $1,543. How much you receive from Social Security will depend partially how much you earn in your lifetime and partially on a Social Security Administration calculation. $1,500 doesn't sound too bad, huh? Well, sure, but according to one estimate, the average monthly expenses for one person in the US is $3,189. And although this monthly expense number can vary depending where in the country you live, it goes to show that Social Security benefits alone will not cover your needs. So the biggest reason why you need to start saving for retirement as soon as possible is because you don't want to get to the age and not have enough money. When you don't have enough savings and investments to cover your expenses, you then have to apply for social assistance programs managed by the government, if you qualify. Or you might have to depend on family members who may have their own financial difficulties to worry about. You want to avoid being that tia who is relying on her hijos to take care of her. It's much better to be the rich and fun tia. So we have to do our part as individuals to save and invest for our own retirement. We can do this through our jobs with some help from our employer, and we can also do it on our own. Next, we'll be talking about pensions. Remember that we are working our way up in terms of complexity, so keep that lápiz y papel very close. You'll want to take notes.